Hey everyone, since people seem to be curious, I thought I'd give a look into how I make my animatics. First off, I start with scripting out the video on Google Docs. I'll copy and paste the lyrics of the song I'm using, and then listen to the song to get a feel for which lyrics correlate to what scene I'm envisioning. Sometimes if I have a strong visual in my head for a particular scene, I'll draw out a few quick sketches to come back to. Once I finish the script up, I'll sometimes make a file for quick character reference. This is especially helpful for characters that have multiple designs through the course of a single video. I'll also use this as a way to test out the colors I use in Animatics if I'm not sticking to my usual all gray. Here's a quick sample of what some of my actual design references have looked like. Then, I'm ready to start drawing out the frames. For organizational purposes, I have folders that correspond to the numbers in my script. I usually also do one frame at a time in its entirety, rather than, say, get the line work done for everything, and then go back and color all of it. This is just the process I've found most effective. When I reach significant points in certain songs, like getting to the chorus, I'll save all the frames I've completed thus far as PNGs and load them into my editing program. The character frames are saved separately from the backgrounds in order to help with how I edit. I edit on Sony Vegas 17. It seems really complicated at first, but when you get used to it, it's a very easy to use program and very good at doing its job. You can see here I have the media tray, so that's where they save all the files you put into the project. At this point, I drag and drop, using the script as my guide for the timings. Once I have all the frames correctly timed, I'll use the video event effects option, which lets you move the frames and stuff. This helps give the animatics more natural movement, and really just pulls everything together. To cap this video off, here's an example of the file for one of my actual animatics, the Uranium Suite one I did. You can see the music track at the bottom and the multiple tracks used for visuals. And here's an example of the event effects thing I was talking about. Because I moved the frame over this stretch of time, it gives the impression that Penny is actually moving, and I can be secure just drawing one frame instead of having to make multiple frames to show movement. In the next 2 frames, you can also see how I slightly move the Constance frame, which gives her more movement when she turns around. After I'm all done putting the animatic together, I'll do a brief playthrough to ensure that it looks up to quality, and then I'll click Render As, which converts the file to an MP4 file, and I can upload it to YouTube. And that's about it. Sorry it isn't the most interesting process, but I hope it can help the rest of you in making your own animatics.